Hi traders, welcome on a Billions Club, welcome on a first ever Sunday in the FTA. What we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be preparing for next 5 days of trading, marking out some levels, talking about fundamental news, what we can expect and where we need to be aware of some high volatility, so we need to prepare for this. As I'm saying all the time, big edge for a trader is being prepared. So that's why we do Sunday in the FTA. Today I will show you my plan for the upcoming days. You can implement it and use it in your TA and potentially trade off of the levels that I will show you on today's live stream. Nothing is financial advice, it's only for educational purposes, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with BTC USD chart. So we'll be talking about market structure. What happened on Friday and Saturday, we got a pretty decent move to the upside, so I will be showing you what is the local structure, what we can expect from BTC in the upcoming days/weeks, but also I will be showing you some levels based on the supply and demand, based on volume, and based on the strategies that I use in my personal trading. So let's start with this. For our chart, completely blank chart. What I like to do is every single Sunday I'm just deleting all of the levels that I have on my chart and going from blank chart and basically reanalyzing, doing anything from scratch. So that's what we're gonna do now together. I'm always starting with a market structure. So for our time frame, we're gonna be marking out swing structure, meaning overall structure, where the market was trying to go and where it's heading now and what can we get from this. So I'm going to start on a line chart, analyzing a little bit the highs and the lows. That's how we spot market structure. So basically what we are getting for, we can say last 2 months, we've been downtrending, creating lower highs and lower lows like this. This is the last important high that we have on the chart. In our educational section here at Billions Club, we will be showing you how you can do this analysis on your own. So stay tuned, this will be released or uploaded soon. But today we're gonna do it like this. This was a strong high, strong swing high on the chart. And we broke it on Tuesday actually. So Tuesday, pretty decent move to the upside, breaking the local structure, all right? So what we have to do now here is that we're gonna change this from strong swing high. I'm always trying to keep my chart as clean as possible with exact indications of what the level means. So for me, this is a break of a structure. So I have a template prepared telling me or showing me this is a break of a structure, right? After seeing the break of a structure, I'm gonna mark out the low that is for me right now holding the swing trend, because we clearly changed the structure here. We are shifting our bias from downside, basically bearish bias from the downtrend to the uptrend, and we will be selecting a new low that is printed here. So small tip for you how you can find what's the low. I'm gonna use this box, basically this rectangle, and I'm gonna pull it from the start where the line started, this box, to the right side here, and now I'm just gonna select the lowest point of this box, which means right now this becomes strong swing low. Okay, this is really just a way how you can mark out your structure and how to keep it as simple as possible, because there is multiple ways how you can be marking out highs and lows, marking out your structure. This is what I use, and it's simply because I want to keep my chart as clean as possible. So we have the first level, that's it. The second thing that we're gonna do is we have to mark out the swing high. But can this be classed, or can we call this as a swing high now? Well, clearly not, because there is not enough retracement yet. So price always moves like this. It gets moved to the upside, retracement, move to the upside, retracement. Right now we are at a stage where we got a clear move to the upside, but not really any significant retracement yet. So right now, I'm not going to be marking any high, because on Monday, tomorrow, obviously, we can get a pretty obvious move to the upside, and basically our high will be invalidated. So for now, keeping it simple, keeping it as it is here, we can be moving to a local structures. So moving to the 15-minute time frame, here we don't even have, we could potentially call this as an internal low on a chart right now. Is it a strong level? To be honest, not really. All right, so we can, we can keep it here, internal low, but I wouldn't pay like too much attention to it, just to make it clear. All right, going to the 15-minute now. Here it's going to be a little bit more interesting since we have more highs, more lows, and basically more levels to mark out. So on a Friday, this was the pump that I was talking about. We got a pretty decent move to the upside, doing another or creating another break of a structure, creating a new high that is here. Right now, as you can see, we already got the retracement to the downside, so we can call this level as a strong swing high on 15-minute time frame. So this is going to be, sorry, weak high, not strong. Obviously, since we are in the uptrend, the likelihood of breaking through this level is definitely higher than likelihood of breaking level that is below us, because we are overall going with the local order flow that we have on the chart. So swing high, weak. We're going to keep it here. What's going to be the strong low on a 15-minute chart? Well, this is where it sometimes can get a little bit complicated, because now here you have your internal low, but it's also going to be strong swing low on a 15-minute time frame. So I'm just going to change it, and I'm going to call this strong swing low. That is here, and we can also add that it's an internal low. 4 hour, but that's really just overcomplicating things. If you are starting out, maybe you can just write it down. For me, it's not really needed since I remember it and I kind of see the overall market structure just by looking at the chart. But we can keep it here, like I said, once again, trying to keep it as clear as possible. So we have the break of a structure, we have the strong swing low on a 15-minute time frame, we also have the swing high. What we got to do now is we need to be marking out the internal structure. What's internal structure? Well, that's simply what marks you like the local structure that you are getting inside that bigger structure, right? So for me, that's going to be IBOS right here. So we got an IBOS break of internal structure from local downtrend to the uptrend, which forms me the internal low on a 15 minutes. So that's going to be right here. This is your internal low, and now this is going to be the internal high. Why am I even marking out these levels? Well, it's simply because we will be playing ping pong between these two zones for now. So just to keep it as clear as possible, just to know kind of where the price is right now and what's likely to happen next once we will be breaking through these levels. So like I said, this is the overall structure. We have the structure low, we have the structure high. We know that already, or overall, we broke a really important structure. That's what we need. I'm gonna keep all of this in a folder that I'm going to create, and I'm going to call this market structure, like this. All right, you may be asking why I'm even placing this into a folder. Well, it's simply because of the reason that I want to keep it as clear as possible, and sometimes you just want to hide the lines that you have on a chart. So you just, with a one click, you will hide everything and you have a blank chart. Obviously, you can do it with like this tool eye that you have, or like an eye tool here on the left side, but it will hide everything. Sometimes you just want to hide something, for example, market structure, but you want to keep your supply and demand zones, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm creating these folders. Back to the 4-hour chart, what we can expect from BTC? Well, as soon as we are above this internal low, obviously there is nothing telling me that, okay, right now it's switching bearish. Not really. The important thing is that we already made a really decent move to the upside. So now the retracement most likely will be coming soon, right? We are above the liquidity levels that we have here. Obviously, we can mark it out. We will be talking about overall liquidity, but overall on a BTC, the move to the upside happened already. What happens after the move to the upside? Usually you get a retracement, right? So this week, I would be looking for some retracement on BTC chart, but only once we flip the local internal low to a bearish trend, and we will potentially be even changing the strong swing low on a 15-minute time frame. Once that happens, we can change our bias and start shorting for some local pullback, right? So talking about something like this. But as soon as we are below this level, basically here, it's still much more bullish, and it automatically decreases the probabilities that you have on your side if you are going short here, because overall order flow is definitely clearly going to the upside, if that makes sense. All right, so from the structure perspective, I think that you got the idea what I'm talking about. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame and let's start talking about some supply and demand levels, the levels that will be actually tell me something where I could be looking for some trades. So the zone number one is this one down there, 15-minute supply and demand zone. This is really going to be the first level where I'm going to start looking for potential longs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this level right here, or this alert, and I'm going to call this BTC potential SD zone. And a lot of you have been asking me the last few days from Crypto Wizards team why I started using supply and demand instead of horizontals, because I kind of stopped using horizontals completely, we can say. If you think about it, just go to your chart and compare your horizontal levels with the supply and demand, the major zones, the zones that actually flipped something, the zones that created break of a structure, the important ones. Once again, we'll be talking about it. I will be explaining this either on live streams or in our educational section, but I started using them because it can give you much better, like a refined zone. So instead of having like a larger horizontal area on a chart where price could potentially get some bounce, this is the way how you can spot more refined entry, more refined zone. And obviously you can use like 4-hour zones, 1-hour zones, etc., but you can go all the way down to 15-minute and you can be really precise with your entries, or not really with your entries at all, but with your like key zones where you are potentially looking for your entry model, if that makes sense. All right, so this is the level number one that you need to be aware of. The level number two, that is basically holding this overall weekend chart, is going to be approximately zone right here. So we can be talking about the demand, obviously. Demand around this zone here. So locally important demand, once we're going to lose it, we are definitely looking to this zone down there. Overall bias for me will be getting moved to the downside and potentially taking a long out of this with grabbing some liquidity or creating liquidity. But right now, be aware of these two levels. The level above us, because we also want to be prepared for a better scenario. A level above us is this one, approximately this zone here. This is going to be bearish zone for potential scalp on BTC. All right, so I'm going to call this sell zone BTC, and we also going to do this high right here. So right now we have the major zones, obviously. I'm not telling you that from all of these I will be taking trades, definitely not. I just want to make it clear, like if this is your first ever stream or you see me for the first time, my style of trading is not presetting entries or presetting orders on these levels that I'm marking out. For me, these zones are here only for marking out important zone, and once it's being hit, then I'm using order flow, which I will show you in the upcoming minutes what it is, but then I'm using order flow to get into the position actually. So this is only just for marking out the important zones, the key zones where I want to be, or where I want to start thinking about if I'm going to participate in the market or not. But important zones on a BTC chart, 15 minutes, we are done with this. Going to the liquidity levels, this is where it's going to start to be a little bit more, I would say, interesting or advanced. But we will start using these fancy charts. Exo charts, basically order flow, simply looking for some potential liquidity levels where we could go, grab the liquidity, fill the big players, and then fade the move. So if you are looking at a chart like this, important liquidity level for me would be probably around here, 30,900. So 30,900, let me go back to this chart right here, and the liquidity level is sitting actually inside the supply zone here. So this is going to be the liquidity level based on the open interest. So liquidity level number one, obviously, where you have another liquidity that will be around this internal high, which we can add that it's also a liquidity level, something like this. You know, we are trying to keep it as clear as possible. So first liquidity level, second liquidity level, all we need for now. Overall, big liquidity, 1 hour time frame, trying to see or trying to spot where there could be potential liquidity sitting for grabbing it and filling big positions. So if you look at it by this way, 29,800, that's down there approximately. This is the next liquidity level. By the way, if you are interested in order flow, then visit our website or my website that I have right here. I'm explaining order flow, how to use it, how to trade with it, and how to spot these zones. So basically by using and reading the data from exchange, I can get the idea where the potential liquidity could be sitting and basically where the price could be heading for some liquidity grab, simply said. So overall, we have the liquidity level above us, we have the liquidity level below us. Right now, we're just gonna, instead of looking at the general open interest, we will start using more refined liquidity levels by looking at the net shorts. This one looks decent. This week high has some liquidity above it. It will be here, and it will also be above this high here. This one is grabbed already. This one is also grabbed, and a local liquidity that started here. I think that we have this already. Yes, we do. All right. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna place it into a folder here with liquidity. Like this. Also gonna place it the supply and demand zones that we just created. Supply and demand, or let's keep it as clear as possible, just SD, something like this. We know the levels that we are paying attention to. So we checked order flow, we checked supply and demand, we checked liquidity levels. The next step is checking the market profiling, so TPO, looking for poor highs, poor lows, potential single prints, but nothing is here actually. So from the market profiling, we don't have anything to use. So the one last thing that we're gonna have a look at is the naked POC. So naked POC levels, we have one down there, which kind of forms. Okay, this one is after supply and demand. All right, nothing really here from the naked POC perspective. Overall, what I have to say, this level is important. This could be the potential end for retracement on BTC, getting to the upside. What we just did up here is we just mark out the local liquidity, or like a local trading levels, local key zones that we need to be aware of. As soon as we are still inside these zones that we just marked out, we don't really care about the levels that are either above or below. Once we're gonna get out of that, then we have to redo our analysis, look for new levels and so on. But the Sunday in the FTA here is not here to prepare you for all of the 5 days. Obviously, if you are a day trader, you gotta be adjusting your levels on a daily basis with the levels that are being created through the day, right? But the Sunday in FTA is overall to prepare you for the start of the week and basically get you like a general idea what could be potentially happening in the next few days. All right, so we are done with the BTC. These are the levels. One last thing, CME gap. Not something where I would pay like really a lot of attention to it, but it's here, 31,200 is a CME gap. So we can potentially mark it out, and this could be like some small reason that the price could be heading to this level tomorrow. So something like this. No, why I'm using this. I have the CME gap right here. Let me just double check it. 31,200, yes. All right. What's the plan then? Well, very simply said, I'm looking for this internal low to be taken. here, the perfect scenario would be grabbing the liquidity, tapping this zone here tomorrow, creating swing failure pattern, getting into long position and targeting move like this. That's like the preferred scenario that I have. We'll see if it's gonna happen, but I would be looking for something like this. Once again, just want to keep this clear. I'm not gonna be entering immediately on these levels. What I have to see is a confirmation. So I will be looking at the order flow and I will be checking if I have my entry confirmation here printed on a chart before taking some setup. All right, so BDC is done. Let me just check. All right, what is the difference between Billions Club and Crypto Wizards? Crypto Wizards are not billion. Yeah, so the difference between Billions Club and Crypto Wizards. Well, Billions Club is a prop firm where we provide you capital to trade with if you prove us that you can actually trade. So if you pass our evaluation process, you will get a capital to trade with some profit split. You can check our website, you'll find link below. And the Crypto Wizards, that's only educational group where I provide my strategies, where I show you how I trade, with basically breaking my system down from A to Z, showing you exact approach in a market, giving you some checklist, giving you all the templates that I use on order flow, trading view and everything, and where I keep you updated on a daily basis about my positions. So that's the difference between the Crypto Wizards and the Billions Club. But we can start on a gold. That will be the second pair that we're gonna do here. And the last pair will be for our chart, the last pair will be Euro USD. I wanted to say that we're gonna start on a 4-hour chart on a gold. All right, so 4-hour chart, marking out the strong high and marking out the week low. So strong high, obviously here, downtrend, very, very clearly visible, I would say. So strong high here. Then we got a weak low. Why weak? Well, because once again, we are in a heavy downtrend. That's why it's going to be weak. We do not expect that this level is going to hold, but we obviously need to add some more confluences to it. So that's the weak high. That's the weak low. That's the strong high. Overall swing structure. Internal high is going to be here, which is also going to be swing high on a 15-minute time frame. So we're just going to mark it out like this, but now we're going to lower the time frame to the 15-minute. So like I said, this is definitely a strong high, swing high on a 15-minute time frame, like this. This is now going to be the weak low. We can keep it as it is here. This is the internal low. This is going to be the internal high, like this. So market structure is done. We can once again create this with MS. So we get a market structure. Right now we're going to pay attention to the supply and demand zones. So this 4-hour supply is right now holding us from coming any lower. So it's going to be this one right here. Going to the 15-minute. All right, as you can see, price reacted to this level absolutely perfectly, but this zone is mitigated already. What I mean by mitigated, basically it already reacted, right? So this level is not like important for us at all anymore. Just want to pay attention to what level created the IBOS, the internal break of structure. That's this one, and if we go here, I'm going back to the 4-hour time frame, and I want to see what level started this move down. To marking out something like this with post break of structure. All right, so specifically it was this level right here. I want to show you how precise you can be when you know how to mark out these zones. So basically this was the level. Look at this, all right? Hide this. You got the zone exactly to the dollar on gold. I mean, exactly to the dollar. Look at this. All right, so how I found this level? Well, I'm gonna very simply try to explain you how you can find this in 1 minute. Obviously, you know, this is a topic that I could be covering for hours and hours, but what I did is I simply tried to spot what level or what zone started this break of a structure. So for our time frame, we get the break of a structure here. At the top here, you want to see what candle started this move to the downside, which if you're going to zoom in, the supply is this blue candle, but then you want to pick the one that closed below, which is this one. And once you see the candle that closed below, you're going to pick the previous one. That is really the one that created the supply. So here, this one closed below this one, this blue one. This is the one, obviously, like the previous one before this one. Hopefully you got the point. Probably not, but once again, this is something that needs to be, or you could be covering this for basically hours and hours. And that's not the point of today's stream. All right, so yeah, we got the zone. Right now, the important zone, or what I'm expecting on gold. Well, currently, this demand is holding the gold from coming any lower. So this is the local support. If you're gonna lose this, then I'm gonna switch my bias to being bearish. So if you're gonna do something like this, I'm gonna start looking for entries around here, targeting gold trades even lower. Because right now, this is really the zone that's basically deciding if you're gonna go to the upside or to the downside, simply said. So we'll see how the price will react tomorrow. What we can do here is we can try to refine our supply and demand level. So it's gonna be this one. If you're really gonna zoom in, it's gonna be this one down there. This one is not mitigated yet. So be aware of this level. This is the zone where I would be looking for some potential swing failure pattern, because there will be some liquidity below this level, and taking a trade out of this zone right here. So overall plan on gold is, as soon as we are above this level, this first gray box, I'm still looking for taking out or coming approximately to this level right here. It's really hard to say where exactly, but it's going to be to this gray box. So the trade that I'll be looking for is a liquidity grab, entry around here, and targeting the high that you have here. This would be the trade that I will be looking for. To show you a little bit how I'm thinking about it, something like this, grabbing the liquidity, getting the entry around here, and then looking potentially for something like this. If you're going to lose the level, which means we're not going to get the SFP, we're going to close below it, then I will start looking for retracement and stepping into the short and targeting lower back to the zone down there. If you go to the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to check the supply and demand levels that we got right here, then immediately the level you will be looking for it's going to be this one. This one is reacted already. You can try to take this one, and if I go even lower. Right now I'm trying to be as precise as possible. Something like this. Okay. Hopefully guys you just saw it basically that I picked the level on the left side and we reacted to it perfectly, so I really didn't see that this was the zone where we reacted from. But okay, the point is that we mitigated from this level already, so this level is not important at all. But this is gonna be the zone that's gonna be important right now. This one right here. This is where you need to be taking first profits on short if you're gonna be taking short on long, if you're gonna flip this level. Very simply said. But that's it. That's it on gold. We're just gonna finish with the Euro USD now, and then we're gonna hop to the Forex calendar, and I'll show you some of the news you need to be aware of. Alright. So overall structure. Strong swing low. I forget about one thing on gold. Let me go back. Sometimes this can happen. That's why you need to have a checklist, and actually I have it here on the left side, but it's always good to double check. I think that we weren't marking naked POCs. Alright, we have the naked POC inside here. Yeah, so now the scenario becomes even more likely that we're gonna get moved down and we're gonna create something like this. Alright. Locally IBOS. Internal high, which will also be strong high on a 15-minute time frame. So this gives you internal high. This is gonna be the internal low. Internal low right here. This was the supply and demand. That is unmitigated. That's perfect. This is the zone that started, move down, creating the IBOS, and basically this one also, something like this. So now I go to the 15-minute time frame to refine these levels. So it's gonna be from this, it's gonna be this one. Yes, this one right here. I'm sorry that I'm being kind of quiet, but I'm trying to focus on the levels that we have here, trying to mark them out correctly, obviously. This is gonna be the next supply above us, and the last one is, the last one that started the initial break is this one right here. Okay. I'm just gonna double check it. Alright, that's it. 15-minute time frame, marking out the local zones on 15-minute, or marking out the local structure, which means that we got the boss that is here. We have the strong high that is here. Strong high, we got the strong low, sorry, weak low obviously. That is right here, weak low. Okay, so the plan that we have on Euro USD. Definitely more bearish. Would be looking for shorts this week. There is some reason why to go all the way up for this naked POC, but is it like a very, very important level? Is it very likely that we're gonna hit this one? Not really, because you need to flip this zone first, then you need to flip this zone. So there is a lot of resistance. Obviously it can happen, so keep that in mind. But if you're gonna keep marking the internal structure that we got, well, that's gonna be pretty simple. This is gonna be the internal high. This is gonna be the internal low. Now we just need to be waiting. That's it. So the plan is that I'm gonna wait for coming back to this level, grabbing the liquidity above this high here, grabbing the liquidity, potentially getting into position once we get like a local structure change, and targeting this level down there. This level is really likely to be hit during this week, in my opinion, this gray one down there. We are done. The thing that we're gonna do now is gonna be we're gonna cover the Forex calendar, what upcoming news we have. So today is 25th, so tomorrow nothing important. Tuesday we got a CPI on CAD, so for us not really important for me. If you are trading any CAD pairs, then be aware of this. Here we have some consumer confidence, but once again, I'm not paying attention to like every single news. I'm just paying attention to the major ones. So this week on USD, we'll have the Fed Chair Powell speaks, so that will bring some volatility. This is always very hard to predict what volatility it's going to be, if it's going to be to the upside or to the downside. What I'm always trying to do, like if the price is like close to my level and I can get stopped out easily, I'm just like trying to get out. If I'm in like a middle of a position, so I'm always like close to hitting take profit but not hitting the take profit yet, I'm just gonna keep it running with moving stop loss to break even, just to make sure that I'm not gonna like lose money that I don't have to lose on this. Alright, so then we have a final GDP quarter to quarter, unemployment claims. That will bring some volatility, so Thursday, keep that in mind. And that's basically it for now. Yes, so only Thursday is important day for you to be aware of potential levels that or potential volatility that can be on a chart. Is there a difference between order block and supply and demand? Well, not really. That's basically the same thing. You know, this is the thing, like in trading you will find so many names and so many fancy indicators and everything, but most of them are based on, like the core of it is the same, it only differs by the name, right? So like order block and supply and demand is kind of the same thing. I just use them a little bit differently, I would say, than most of the people, because you just grab, like, if you have moved down, you grab like the last bullish candle. I add like a little bit more confluences to that, and I have like a filter, how to filter out the ones that has like a higher probability, if that makes sense. But yeah, can you do some cryptos? Guys, just to make sure, like, I'm doing TA on the pairs that I personally trade, because I'm always recommending do not trade a lot of pairs, because it will only get you confused. You need to get a little bit in touch with the pair. You need to know like how it acts, at what time it's volatile, and so on. That's why I'm not gonna be like doing TAs on like random coins, because like I can do that. It doesn't really matter for me. I like to do the TA actually. I like the charting by itself, but it's just like I don't know how. I'm not like connected with the pair, if you know what I mean. It's just you need to get some like feel for that. So I'm just trying to show you what I use, trying to show you the approach that on the pairs that I trade, where I have the most amount of my experience. Alright guys, this is it for today. Let me know what you think about today's stream. Let me know if you will use some of the levels that I showed you today. We have the plan. Remember, if you are a trader and you will start doing your plan on a weekly basis, daily basis, potentially session basis, which means that every single session you will do your plan, you already have a big advantage or edge over the others because you are prepared, you know exactly what you are looking for. So keep that in mind. And what I will also say, try to do the plan on your own and then watch this stream to just like confirm, okay, I have the same levels, I have the similar levels. Don't just completely rely on me, because you should always be like, okay, I want to learn this on my own instead of relying on someone else. So I'm here, I'm your support, I'm showing you my plan, but if you are serious about trading, you need to rely only on yourself. That's it for today. Thank you so much for today's stream. Don't forget to visit our Billions Club website to sign up for our waiting list. Also, if you want to learn my strategies, my approach to the market, check cryptowizards.net. You see the link at the top of the chart. That's it for today. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow.